She talks about how the being was described as a dark red or brown being. Okay, what ends up happening is after the first one, there became this notion that we got to have more of these. We got to have more of these beings. And they said, okay, but we're not going to put all of that on the Anunnaki women, because what happened is they had 7 more Anunnaki women to come forward so that they can line up more females. They wanted to give birth to female humans. So they got the female Anunnaki to carry these humans. All right. And so what ended up happening is once they had these male and female humans, they put them in this place that we know as Eden or Eden. The Garden of Eden is where they put them. And in that garden, they were watched over because they wanted to see them procreate. This was a big, big project because once again, the Anunnaki were trying to save their planet and they needed the gold from Earth in order to do so. And the only way they could get the gold is if they had people to mine it. And the Igigi had made it clear they wasn't mining out one doggone another piece of gold. And so they had to create this being. So this was a big deal. So they were watching this Adam and Eve as they were in the garden, or this territory that's in the place that we know of as modern day Peru. That supposedly is where the Garden of Eden was. And then Mesopotamia is what we know of as modern day Iraq. All right. So how they get around? They had spaceships according to ancient scriptures, according to the Bible. Bible had a whole bunch of UFO sightings. Y'all know Ezekiel? Somebody in the comment section tell me what Ezekiel saw. Somebody tell me. I'm waiting. Anybody listening? Is this thing on? I want to see some likes over here in YouTube. What did Ezekiel see? Y'all like the Anunnaki story, but y'all won't talk to me. I don't think anybody's listening. Ezekiel saw the wheel way up in the middle of the air. Ezekiel saw the wheel way in the middle of the air. And the big wheel runs by faith, and the little wheel runs by the grace of God. It's a wheel and a wheel way in the middle of the air. That is a spaceship. Spaceship. That's what Ezekiel saw, a spaceship. There have been plenty of spaceship sightings in the Bible. So that's how they got around. They could fly. And technology that we're finding today is old compared to what they had back then when they came to the planet. Okay. So you've got in Eden was in what we know of as modern day Peru. All right. And then what we know of as Mesopotamia in modern day Iraq. So they are watching these beings in this Garden of Eden, and they're trying to see if they're going to procreate. Well, they see them having sex constantly, over and over and over. They having sex, but they're not procreating. I want y'all to pay attention, because this is where that story in the Bible comes from concerning the Garden of Eden and why God was so angry. Pay attention. So they're having sex, but they're not procreating. Why? Because these human vessels are hybrid. They were never supposed to procreate. And so what ends up happening is that Enki reports that to Ningu, which is Thoth. And he's like, they're having sex, but they're not procreating. What's going on? Why? What's going on? So Thoth, once again, Thoth or Ningu, which is Enki's son, knew how to break down DNA. Very much like, you all know that movie Panther, Black Panther, in that second phase where the girl was breaking down the DNA or what have you and checking out each code on the DNA strand. So at any rate, he knew how to do that. Ningu did. And he recognized what the issue was. This is when he put Enki and Ninmah to sleep and Adam and Eve to sleep. At this time, he took DNA from the ribs of Enki and put it in Adam. And he took DNA from the rib of Ninmah and he put it in Eve. That's where that rib story comes from. They had to be put to sleep because he needed to give them more DNA so that vessels could procreate. And when he did that, he gave them more knowledge of self. And now you get ready to understand why, quote unquote, God kicked Adam and Eve out of the garden.